There you see Alexis Herman, former cabinet member in the Clinton administration. She's obviously a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, because sorority sisters from around the country, they have gathered at the Washington Convention Center to hear the Attorney General of the United States. This is the 100th anniversary of this sorority, by the way, which was founded at Howard University here in as I said, 100 years ago. So you see these women here from all over the country. They've gathered in Washington. They're now getting ready to hear the Attorney General of the United States. We'll have live coverage. He's going to be speaking out on the verdict in the George Zimmerman trial. As we await the Attorney General, let's get to some other news. Egypt's public prosecutor's office is issuing 7 new arrest warrants for the leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood. Comes as a top American diplomat visits Cairo. The Deputy Secretary of State, William Burns, is meeting with Egypt's interim president, Adli Mansour. The two sides are trying to bridge the divide caused by the ousting of the former president, Mohamed Morsi. The visit takes place just hours after 3 people were killed and 17 more were wounded in Egypt's North Sinai province. Suspected militants were using rocket-propelled grenades to attack a police car, but missed and hit the bus that the victims were on. All right, I'm told now that Eric Holder is getting a hug from Alexis Herman, old friends. He's going to be speaking out on what's going on. You know what? Let's hear what he has to say. I'm sure he's going to thank the women of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority first.
Good afternoon, Deltas. Thank you, Secretary Herman, for those very kind words, and thank you all for such a warm welcome. It's a privilege to join all of you, President Butler McIntyre, National Social Action co-chairs Watkins, Lattimore, and Boyd, National First Vice President Walker, and every member of your executive committee and executive board in celebrating Delta Sigma Theta's centennial year here in our nation's capital, and not far from where the sorority was founded. But as you've heard, it's an even greater privilege for me to say that I am the husband of a distinguished Delta, Dr. Sharon Malone. She made me say that. But thank you all for inviting me to take part in your 51st annual convention as we come together to congratulate this year's award recipients, to reflect on a century of engagement and empowerment, and to strengthen the robust tradition of scholarship action that has always defined this remarkable sisterhood. Now, of course, as this celebration unfolds, we are all reminded of the pain felt by our nation surrounding the tragic, unnecessary shooting death of Trayvon Martin in Sanford, Florida last year. And we are cognizant of the fact that the state trial reached its conclusion over the weekend. As parents, as citizens, and against violence in communities across the Deltas are deeply and right this case. The Justice Department shares your concern. I share your concern. And as first acknowledged spring, we have opened an Now, independent of the legal determination that will be made, I believe that this is yet another opportunity for our nation to speak.
All right, unfortunately, you can see we're having some technical issues from the Washington Convention Center, getting out the signal from the Washington Convention Center. We're going to turn the tape. We're going to get you exactly what the Attorney General has to say. The Justice Department, by the way, did release, and I have it right here with me, the exact text of what he's saying. And it looks like the line may have cleared up. Let's go back.
Trayvon's parents, that they have demonstrated throughout the last year, and especially over the past few days, they suffered a pain that no parent should have to endure, and one that I, as a father, cannot begin to conceive. Even as we embrace their example and hold them in our prayers, we must not forego this opportunity to better understand one another and to make better this nation that we cherish. Moreover, I want to assure you that the department will continue to act in a manner that is consistent with the facts and the law. We are committed to standing with the people of Sanford, with the individuals and families affected by this incident, and with our state and local partners in order to alleviate tensions, to address community concerns, and to promote healing. We are determined to meet division and confusion with understanding and compassion, and also with truth. We are resolved, as you are, to combat violence involving or directed at your people, to prevent future tragedies, and to deal with the underlying attitudes, mistaken beliefs, and stereotypes that serve as the basis for these two common incidents. And we will never stop working to ensure that in every case, in every circumstance, and in every community, justice must be done. This is an aim we're proud to share with everyone in this room, and with the culture of excellence that has been this organization's hallmark for the last century. In the decades since Delta Sigma Theta was founded in 1913 by 22 ambitious Howard University students, this sorority has grown into the single largest organization of African American women in the country, comprised of more than 200.
All right, so the Attorney General now praising the sorority sisters from the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. It's the 100th anniversary. Congratulations to all those ladies who are here in Washington. But substantively, you heard we had a little technical problem. We're going to clean that up. But the bottom line, he says, the Justice Department shares your concern. I share your concern. And as we first acknowledged last spring, we have opened an investigation into the matter, an investigation into the civil rights aspects of the George Zimmerman shooting of Trayvon Martin. I want to assure you, the Attorney General says, I want to assure you the department will continue to act in a manner that is consistent with the facts and the law. He did not say that they will be filing charges, but only that an investigation started a year ago. It continues right now. Gloria Borger, our chief political analyst, Jessica Yellen, our chief White House correspondent, they are both here. Gloria, let me get your thoughts first. A very precise phrasing by the Attorney General, even though we don't have a better clue whether or not charges will actually be filed.
Yeah, the Attorney General clearly did not commit to any course of action, Wolf. In fact, he said, independent of the legal determination that will be made, I believe this tragedy provides yet another opportunity for the nation to speak honestly about these issues of race. And he went on in that vein. It's very clear to me from speaking with sources that, look, this is a very high bar for the Attorney General. This particular case, you have to prove that George Zimmerman acted deliberately with the intent to break the law and that his motive was based on race or discrimination. And I think that is a very, very high bar. This is a legal matter. It's not just a political matter. And I think that's the vein in which the Attorney General approached this today, Wolf.
Are we, Jessica, going to be hearing more from the president specifically, either today, tomorrow, later this week, about the not guilty verdict? Because a lot of us remember a year ago, so, after the whole story erupted, he did speak, he got very personal speaking about Trayvon Martin.
I don't think there'll be any planned event, Wolf, but I know he will be sitting down with reporters at some point later this week, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets that question and we hear something from him. Not today, maybe, though, perhaps tomorrow or Wednesday. And, well, for the White House and for the administration, for Attorney General Holder, this is a fine line that they're walking between political pressure on the one hand, from civil rights groups, from some of their core constituents, and the harsh realities of the law. As Gloria points out, a very high standard and a very tough case to bring. Some 15,000 signatures within 24 hours on a White House petition calling for the government to bring a case. And for the White House and for the president in particular, a touchy issue because he has tried to stay above weighing in on issues that are too specific to race one way or another. He wouldn't put it that way, but I think it is fair to say that. At the same time, he has increasingly in his second term spoken to issues that are at the heart of concerns for the black community. And this is clearly an opportunity for him to do that again. We've heard Attorney General Holder talk about measures of violence African-American males are subject to, and I think we'll hear more of that from the Attorney General, and we'll see if the president chooses to use this as a springboard to talk about some of those issues more himself, Wolf.
And Wolf, remember, there is no deadline here for the Justice Department. So if there is a civil proceeding, the Justice Department can wait and see what occurs during that civil proceeding. I'm assuming they're going to want to talk to the prosecutors who conducted the trial for the state to figure out what kind of evidence was left off the table that they could potentially use if they were to seek some charges. So again, this is something that no one should expect, if it were to occur, that should happen tomorrow. There is no set date by which they have to act.
And one other thing, Wolf, tomorrow the Attorney General gives a speech to the NAACP tomorrow. It was going to be on the Voting Rights Act. I think we'll hear more comments on the Zimmerman case as well.
Yep, that's down in Florida, actually, in Orlando, not far away from Sanford, Florida, as well. All right, Gloria, Jessica, guys, thanks very much. We're going to get more analysis of what we just heard from the Attorney General of the United States. How strong of a case would the Justice Department have in going after George Zimmerman? We'll have that and a lot more news right after this.